Yo, what's up, gang? But we're doing what if Deku at the Rinnegan Part 1. Let's be smooth. So we're gonna start off this what if with Deku in the car with Ino or Izumi or whatever her name is. His mom, bro. But he's in the car with his mother. And they're having a nice drive, ice cream. They got ice cream from McDonald's or some fast food restaurant. Actually, matter of fact, they go to an ice cream party, and they have a seat outside that they sit, eat some ice cream, have a nice, evening. And then somebody is lurking. They're lurking in an ice cream parlor truck. In that truck, man. And they have a very dangerous quirk. The quirk that they have is teleportation and super strength. 2 quirks granted by All For One. The man jumps out the vehicle and teleports behind Izumi before punching her and slamming her into the ice cream parlor. Izuku was shocked, just standing there, afraid, wondering where's the heroes at. Can they please help his mother? Can they help him get out of this treacherous situation, this dangerous situation? Izumi's laying down on the ground, unconscious. The villain walks up to Izumi and grabs her by the hand before breaking her arms, and then her ankles, and then her kneecaps, blowing them jumps backwards, man. While Izuku's watching this occur, he's standing there in shock, staring there, not knowing what to do. The 1,000-yard stare. He doesn't know what to do. He's about to start crying. And then he feels something aching. His head starts hurting. His vision starts blurring. Then he starts seeing things that he couldn't see before, and feeling things that he couldn't feel before. He feels this surge of power, this surge of energy. Like he's learned everything, learned every truth in the world. Izuku stands up and points his finger towards the villain. He says, "Universal Pull." The villain flies towards Izuku. He flies past him, slamming into the brick wall, completely, utterly pummeled. He's bleeding, or that's what it appears. Now I'm trolling. But yeah, he's bleeding. But let's just say, actually, never mind. Scratch that, my bad. Izuku points his finger, says "Universal Pull," brings the villain. The villain starts coming towards Izuku, flying towards him. Then he uses teleportation to teleport in front of Izuku and is about to punch him. Izuku then says "Universal Push" before pushing him back into his ice cream truck. The villain? Oh, he's kinda screwed right now, because Izuku's finna use something disgusting. He's finna use something that I don't think was used in the show, I'm not sure. But this is gonna be something new, completely newly implemented in this what if, because I can do this because it's my what if. But Izuku points 2 fingers at him before saying "Universal Pull, Universal Push." The villain starts feeling all his body parts pulling in opposite directions all at the same time. His flesh is coming off of his skin. His flesh is coming off of his muscles. And then his legs are coming off of his torso. His arms are coming off of his torso. His hands are coming off of his arms. and it's just guts everywhere. He explodes. The villain's obviously dead. And Azumi, I bet. Azumi, she doesn't look too good. The police and heroes soon arrive. They find that Izuku's all by himself with a dead guy in front of him and a lady who's basically dead. His eyes are purple, looking like a true villain, looking like somebody who's gonna sneak up. But anyways, he's looking very devious. They think to themselves, "Hey kid, what did you just cause? What did you do?" He tries to explain himself that he did nothing wrong and he protected his mother. The heroes weren't buying it. They think that Izuku killed an innocent man and woman for no reason. He looks like a monster. Izuku gets detained and arrested and put into the cop car. Izumi was well known around this area by the policemen, by the citizens, by the neighborhood, people in the neighborhood. So they were shocked when they heard this news that Izuku killed his own mother. By the way, Izuku is only 3 when this occurs. Yet they hold no mercy. Izuku was always a smart child. Everyone knew that he was intelligent enough to know his surroundings. Ever since he was born, everyone had an aura. Everyone had an aura of feeling when Izuku came around that he was the next big thing, that he was actually gonna be something someday. Maybe not a hero, but some investor, someone who makes big bucks. And they knew that Izuku was aware of his surroundings at his own age, that he was aware of what he could and couldn't do. At this time, Izuku could already do complex mathematics. Yeah, he's on that. Actually, my bad. Izuku was 4 years old when this occurs, but he could already do complex mathematics. He was very intelligent with his vocabulary. He had a very vast vocabulary. So everyone knew that he knew that they knew that he knew that he knew what he was doing. If allegedly that is. The cops, instead of putting Izuku and bringing him to the police department, instead of taking Izuku to the police department, they think to themselves, matter of fact, let's give him something to remember. They bring Izuku to a forest, a deep forest, and they throw him out the vehicle. The policemen get out and they start picking up Izuku and throwing him into trees, hitting him in the face, punching him, kicking him, doing all sorts of things, basically torturing him. And then they bring him to a cave, and in this cave there's a room, surprisingly. There's a room in this cave, and they lock Izuku in. They lock him there, they feed him dog food, and this happens for a year. Izuku has no more hope in the world. He has nothing left to live for. Everything is lost. But Izuku thinks to himself, why don't I just tap into my power? I tapped into it a while ago, but now, let's try now. I've endured so much, and it's time for this to come to an end. Izuku waits patiently for the men to come back. Their next visit. They visit every week. Izuku hears the footsteps, and he activates his Rinnegan. They bust in the door. Here's your food, maggot. And they feel something. They can't put their finger on it, but they feel something. Something's off today. They hear footsteps running behind them. Izuku jumps on him. Puts 2 fingers in his ears, like Baki, or whatever, Yujiro knows him. 2 fingers in his ear. Pierces his brain. Tight. And then the other guy comes around. He sees Izuku doing this. He tries to run away. Pull. Izuku pulls him towards him. He winds up his fist before hitting him and saying push at the same time. He goes flying into a wall and his head busts open. Izuku runs away from this cave and he runs to an urban area, cities, buildings, many buildings. This is where Izuku would find himself lost. He doesn't know what he should do. He doesn't have money. He doesn't have a family. He luckily doesn't have a criminal record because nobody knows about what happened. Those policemen didn't report it. Or heroes, I should say. Because they were heroes. Well, no, not heroes, they're policemen. But they didn't report it to the police station, so nobody knew. They just thought an incident occurred he got murdered by some villains, and the other guy, the villain that started attacking him, got murdered, and it was an innocent man as well. And that the villain got away with Izuku, and Izuku was missing. This is where Izuku will start school, surprisingly. But this doesn't happen till later on. Izuku learns that he has to start stealing the money. He runs to grocery stores, stealing bread, water, and he gets away. And then he runs into a woman. This woman has white pants and holds a lasso or whip type of weapon. And she has a mask on. As Izuku's trying to run away from this grocery store, she grabs him with her whip thingy. Lasso-ish thing or whip. And then she says, "Where are you going, little?" Izuku says, "I need food. I can't survive. I have no family, no one. Everyone's gone and nobody knows what I've been through." The lady says, "Come with me." She brings him to her home and takes care of him from that point on. This lady would be Nana Shimura. My fault, not Nana Shimura. I'm tripping. This lady would be my fault, gang. This lady would be Black Whip. Wait, not Black Whip. What? Yo, I'm tripping, man. This lady would be. Let me see. I forgot her name, so it's been a while. But y'all know who I'm talking about. The hero. Nimura? Kayama? I think that's her, right? Kayama. Yeah. Or her hero name is Midnight. That was Midnight. My fault. Midnight brings her to a home, and this is where Izuku's life will start changing. Izuku would have a cold start with her. At first, he would be cold to her because the things he's seen, the things he's been through. But then he starts warming up slightly, but he'll never be the same. She decides to enroll in middle school. It happens to be a school that a blonde-haired boy goes to named Bakugo, but Izuku doesn't really care that much right now. On his first day of school, Izuku goes into the classroom. Everyone's 5, by the way. Izuku goes in the classroom and everyone's chanting Bakugo's name, saying, "You have an amazing quirk, dude. I wish I could be like you." Izuku would be wondering what they're talking about, and he sees it instantly as soon as he walks in. An explosion quirk. Very destructive, very powerful. Bakugo sees Izuku. He looks kind of short, and he doesn't look that strong, I should say. From all the things he hasn't eaten well and been nourished in a long time, so like it's a given. But turns around and sees him. He says, "Who's this kid?" And he points at him. Everyone says, "I don't know, but he looks like a limp noodle," and everyone laughs at him. Bakugo says, "Get your stupid ass here before I explode." Izuku just walks away. He says, "Come here, brat, or else you're gonna die today." Izuku instantly looks towards Bakugo, one Rinnegan in his eye, saying "push," sending Bakugo flying to the brick wall. Everyone looks at Izuku shocked, saying, "What did you do? What kind of sorcery, what kind of magic did you use?" Izuku says, "This is my quirk, or technically I'm quirkless. This is my ability, natural born. It runs in my family somehow, some way. Guess my dad had it, or something like it." Izuku then sits down, and the teacher tells him to get back up and come to the front of the classroom. Annoyingly, he says it though. Yeah. He tells Izuku to introduce yourself. Izuku says, "My name's Izuku Midori. I'm 5 years old, and I want to be something. I don't know, but something. Something that protects people, something that helps them. Situations they don't want to be in. Something that protects, maybe a hero." This time, nobody laughs at him. Seeing his powers, seeing what he can actually do at such a young age, they are silent. The teacher nods his head and sits him back down. We're gonna have, let's say, an 8th grade type skip, so they're now teenagers. Bakugo has been training so hard. Ever since Izuku pushed him, Bakugo's been training, especially on his movement with his explosions, directing himself with explosions in the air, propelling himself upward and downward and left and right with the explosions. He is very strong in this whatever. Bakugo tells Izuku that he will be a hero, and he's gonna be the #1 hero. He's gonna surpass every hero, including All Might, including Endeavor, including everyone, and it's gonna be easy for him. He tells Izuku to come with him after school. Izuku and Bakugo kind of warm up to each other a little bit over the years, but it's kind of hard for Izuku to really socialize and make friends, seeing as he has such a dark and kind of sad childhood. But they meet up after school, and Bakugo leads him to an abandoned building. Bakugo puts his hand on his wrist and spreads his palm out before saying, "You think this is #1 hero worthy? Well, I'll show you something." And then he explodes the whole side of the building with one attack. Now, this attack, he's just in 8th grade, and this is the attack that he used. Bakugo used the AP shot. Without a gauntlet, just standing there, used the AP shot. Literally, that's how much training Bakugo has been doing. AP shot, and he's only in 8th grade. Izuku looks at this with actually surprised. He's surprised. Then Bakugo says, "Fight me. We're gonna see who's stronger." Izuku activates his Rinnegan before saying, "Push." Bakugo is flying into the building. He gets up saying, "Is that all you got?" That was barely a baby push, but you know what I'm saying, taunting. Bakugo gets up, explodes so fast towards Izuku, he can barely react before kicking him in the head. Izuku goes into the ground, and then Bakugo slams his fist into Izuku's chest. Bakugo then explodes upwards, and then goes back down, explodes back down, similar to how it's your impact, and then puts his palm forward before saying, "AP shot." Izuku, he uses his Sharingan, and then, my bad, I meant to say Rinnegan, before saying Black Receiver. Izuku points his finger towards Bakugo, and then rods start flying towards Bakugo, sticking him in the legs and the arms. Bakugo goes crashing down and feels all his energy being taken away from him. He feels useless. Izuku says, "This is new to me. It's impressive how I can go into and then I learned so much, but what would happen if I actually trained?" Izuku says. Bakugo says, "You never trained? How are you getting just random abilities? When was the last time you used your Rinnegan?" Izuku says, "Well, probably in the first day of school." Bakugo's very surprised by this. And by the way, Bakugo doesn't have the rods anymore. Yeah, and he's good now. He's good. But he doesn't have rods anymore, stuff like that. So they're just talking. Izuku says, "From now on, I'm gonna start training. I'm gonna start training very hard." And he trains hard from that day on. And yeah, that's where we're gonna leave this What If off. Hope y'all have a good day. Merry Christmas or Kwanzaa, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, you know. And please leave a like and subscribe if you want to. You don't have to. And thank you for watching this video. Have a good one.